we're so happy to have you on with us today because we were watching this movie last night, and it is spooky. We refer to
Okay.
a lot of horror movies and scary movies, but they're not actually that scary. This one is scary, and so
Oh, cool. Cool. Thank
and
you, man.
so and just like Queen of Black Magic, and you've worked on a lot of things that go bump in the night, right?
Yeah, yeah, a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool,
But
cool.
these things are so much fun to bring to the world, and this one actually looked like it was probably a whole lot of fun to do, just to go in kind of a remote place and all the costumes and
Yes.
all the a lot to
Yeah.
put together, but fun, right?
Correct, correct. Very fun. But yeah, I mean, it's a very big challenge for me because again, if you compare with Queen of Black Magic, it is something very different altogether. Now the scale is pretty much bigger, but I do have some age restriction. So yeah, it's a bit of a challenge. For
Yeah. And you're also doing this as a prequel to one of the a movie that people just love and made so much
yeah,
money. So there's just a little bit more pressure, right?
yes, definitely. There's a big pressure because the first one is very successful, and I'm sort of doing the spin-off prequel,
Yeah.
sort of say. And it is something that a very big challenge for me to do. And yes, it's
Yeah.
exciting. It's exciting, Paul.
Yeah, well, and the thing is even though this story, being in the U.S. or in Texas seems like a million miles away, and something that's we don't quite, can't quite wrap our heads around some of the folklore. What's the best way that
Yeah.
you explain it to people?
Ooh, what is the best way? Because it is command, and also in my end, and even in Indonesia itself, there is so many different type of traditional folk horror story, and sometimes we do have some we do some have a different culture in every area, so it doesn't have a right way to saying it to be more more bluntly than it's a horror that haunts you in this particular village.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it is something the culture is pretty much, it's a Japanese old culture that not particularly specific on because this is something that they told me this is a traditional from East Java, and where there's a particular village that's actually you know inhabit with these entities, and this is one of the entities that can haunt you down and take you in those
Yeah.
in those realm.
Yeah. Do you ever get superstitious working on something like this?
Oh yeah, I think this is something I think this actually the first traditional cultural stuff that I ever done, because before it's much more general stuff that I did for the project.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so people look up to what you do because you've been doing it so well for years now. What
Mhm.
advice do you give to filmmakers that want to follow in your path?
Ooh, okay. Know your story very well. Know your character very, very deeply. And I mean, the story have, as a director, please do, if you can, please do involve in the development stage. I think that's something that really, really matters, because if you don't have control of the story, I think you wouldn't get what your vision in, and also be collaborative with other people, especially with the producers, and find that great tune between you guys, between the crew and between the producers. I think that's important, and the actors especially.
Mhm. Well, I'm on a show with Drew Pearson, who's one of our football heroes here, and we talk about that Hail Mary moment, which is that moment in your life or career where you just had to
Yeah.
go for it and it worked out for you. Do you remember that moment where you're just like, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to make this work to make films?
Yeah, of course. Particularly in this project, the producer gave me a challenge to do a PG-13 film, and I think that's the moment that, okay, I think that's a big challenge for me, because particularly this is a horror genre, where horror, you can do as much as crazy stuff that you want, but here you have limitation. I think that's something that you have to be more careful to make, and get what's the producers and also the story wants.
Yeah.
That's something that,
Yeah,
okay, I need to do this.
absolutely. Well, and there are a lot of moving parts with a film like this, and so many things that you have to worry about and think about and do. But
Mm,
keeping your head on right is
mm.
is kind of the main thing. And so, what do you keep in mind that keeps you on the right path even when things are tough?
I think the spirit of that story itself. Yeah, because I'm working closely with the original author in this one, and I think he gave me the stuff that interesting, and the stuff that I can put into, and it is something that I know that if I stick to it, and I'm true to the original story, hopefully it gets somewhere, and it did. It
Yeah.
did get Lionsgate attention, and get distributed towards US. So I think that's something to be hold on with.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, after this, I can't wait to see what you got coming up next for us. What do you have planned in the future?
I'm doing Netflix original after this. It is something that I think hopefully you guys can watch it again worldwide next year. So
Yeah.
of course it's a horror genre again, but yeah, hopefully that's something I can do a little bit more freely if it's the
Yeah.
Netflix original.
Yeah, well, it's I know you can't wait to scare us all over again, and we can't wait for it. So so
Awesome, man. Thank you so
yeah, so
much.
thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and looking forward to the rest of the world seeing this because I know they're gonna love it.
Thank you so much.